Hello. Bueno, pues muy buenas noches, mi gente, y bienvenidos a otro episodio más de Hablando de liderazgo con Albert. Hoy será una noche muy especial. Hoy tengo el honor y el privilegio de que está con nosotros desde Miami. Tengo a Steven Ferreiro desde Miami. Steven, salúdanos por ahí.
Gracias,
¿Cómo está todo?
hola, ¿cómo está? Gracias por tenerme.
Miren, quiero presentarle a Steven. Steven resulta que ahora que lo estoy conociendo, yo lo conocí porque estaba viendo el programa de Ismael Cala y él estaba en una entrevista de Ismael Cala. Entonces le escribo por Twitter y le dije, wow, yo quiero que compartas con nosotros lo que estás haciendo. Resulta que cuando lo conozco, es un estudiante de escuela superior allá en Miami. He's a high school student y está ya desde su corta edad de 16 años. ¿Es que tú tienes, Steven?
Sí, 16, mañana cumple 17.
Oh, happy birthday to you. Happy
Gracias.
birthday. ¡Qué brutal! Y desde los 16 años ya está haciendo proyectos de impacto comunitario, ya está desarrollándose como líder y todavía no está en la universidad. O sea que prácticamente tengo un estudiante como, me siento honrado de entrevistar a alguien como si fuera uno de mis estudiantes, ¿no? Porque prácticamente tiene la edad de los estudiantes a los cuales atiendo en la escuela superior donde soy maestro. Así que para mí es un privilegio tener a Steven. So, Steven, feel comfortable. This is all for you. So, start presenting yourself. ¿A qué te dedicas? Háblanos de ti un poco para que la gente te conozca un poco.
Entonces yo tengo una organización que se llama Helping Others and Giving Hope. Hacemos de todo ayudando familias aquí en Miami y por la state, throughout the state of Florida. We also give out food. We do food distributions. We help certain families that are in need. We also do a lot of community givebacks, throughout the holidays and certain things like that. We've been around for about a year. It's going to be a year in 2 days, actually, on the 30th of September. So it's going to be a year now. And we've been able to give away an apartment not too long ago to a family who lost their home in a fire that were both nurses. So that's been one of our biggest projects yet.
Wow, that's amazing. So Steven nos está hablando de que él ha desarrollado un proyecto comunitario donde ha dado comida en el área de Miami y también en el área de Florida y que ya para septiembre van a cumplir un año, right? Am I right?
Sí, sí. September 30th. Septiembre 30.
O sea, that's going to be like on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Wednesday. 2 days from now.
Wow. So how does this project get started? ¿Dónde empezó esto? ¿Cómo surge esta idea? It was your idea. What was based on? ¿De dónde surge este proyecto de trabajar por la comunidad? ¿Por qué surge esto, Steve?
Mi familia tiene mucha cosa que no, otra familia que no tiene. Entonces estoy I'm very blessed, for example. Okay. So I've always been, very giving back. My family's always taught me to, give back. And so I have my friends and, just anyone that surrounds me have always been, very uplifting and always saying about giving back to others. And I decided throughout the years I wanted to start something after doing several other, community events before in the past. So I decided to create the nonprofit over a year ago. And now today we have done so much more. And coming up on Wednesday, we'll be doing a big fundraiser where we'll be doing a campaign where we're going to be doing donate $5, tag 5 friends. Where your other 5 friend challenge. So it's donate $5, tag 5 friends challenge, where you donate $5 and your other 5 friends have to do the same and just continue tagging along, and we just see how far we can go throughout our community.
Wow, that sounds great. It sounds amazing. So as a young leader, or probably as a high school student, what has been the struggles that you find working or establishing a nonprofit organization? How was that?
I think establishing a nonprofit it was very difficult. It took a very long process, of course. It wasn't a right away thing due to like the different paperwork and different situations like that. But it was a very good way to doing it. I honestly saw a lot of struggles, throughout trying to see what type of engagement we can get throughout our community. But through that, we found some good people in our community that have helped us and have donated to our nonprofit to continue helping our community out.
So what's the next step that you will be taking as a young leader, having a nonprofit organization, working as a high school student with a nonprofit organization? What are the next steps? Where are you planning to go to college? What do you want to do in studying?
My next steps are hopefully to possibly stay here in Miami or stay here in the state of Florida. I do want to stay here, or maybe even venture out into throughout different states and see where we go. But I do want to study business and PR, which is business and public relations, and entrepreneur. And I also do want to lead in our community. So possibly I would love to go ahead and possibly run for something throughout our state of Florida or locally in our county where I live.
Oh, wait. So you're working as a nonprofit organization, making service and making a difference to all the people that you're working for, and you're also planning to running for office as well.
Possibly in the future. I believe that we need. I believe that there's so much leadership in me, and I would love to put myself not just hosting and doing these events. I believe that if I was someone in office, I possibly can do so much more for our community.
Wow. So there's something that we want to talk today is about, the name of our program or our podcast is Hablando de liderazgo con Albert. So he's talking about leadership with Albert. So how do you describe or define leadership at your age? What is the definition of leadership for you?
Leadership, a definition for leadership is, I'd say, someone that puts himself out there and doesn't give up and goes ahead and strives for what they want to do and helps others, not be a follower. I'd say, you're not a follower. You're not someone that, if someone tells me, hey, let's do this, let's go jump off a bridge and it's not safe. And I'm deciding, no, it's not safe. I'm not going to do it. So I'm not following the person. I'm the one leading the person to do good things, going ahead. Let's do this. Let's go, give out to the community. Let's do something better. So I think a leader means, someone that helps accomplish better and amazing goals like these that I've been doing.
Wow, I love that. And how do you describe the qualities of leadership that each leader needs to have to be a better leader?
I believe every leader has different sort of qualities. So I believe, I would say strive for the best. I would also say someone that's very, I guess you can say assertive. I also believe someone that, never gives up on their, on their dreams and their goals and just strives for what they want, I'd say.
Wow. Now there's something very important that we need to talk about, and it's like the balance that you need to work on. You're a high school student, and also you are an owner or probably the president of a nonprofit organization. How do you work with your responsibilities as a high school student and also as a nonprofit or servant leader where you work? How do you make this balance between the fundraising that you're running for the next week or this week and the works that you need to hand in for college or for university or high school? We're talking about high school. How do you make that balance? How do you make that?
I go ahead and, I make sure I have my balances throughout my weekend. Whenever I have that moment of break, I try to spend time with my family, but I also try and, go ahead and accomplish, different goals and different things I have on my list to do. For example, like paperwork or any such things like that I need to do, or setting up a new event throughout the week. Sometimes I'll do my homework. And once I finish my homework, I'll have like a nice, good period of time where I can go ahead and take care of what I need to also do.
Wow, that's very interesting. Okay, so now we're having like difficult times on struggling and passing through the COVID-19. So how does your organization has been affected by the pandemic thing or the COVID-19? How has it been affected, and how did you pass it on?
I believe we haven't been affected. I believe that, we've been able to accomplish a lot of our goals and a lot of, we've been able to do more, I believe. I think that our nonprofit has been a big use in our community and have been very helpful in the beginning of COVID-19. In the first couple weeks that we had here in Miami and in the state of Florida of struggle, we immediately went ahead and started doing food distributions. We had 2 food distributions. The first one was for 500 families, and the second one was for 1,000 families. We ran out of food within the first couple hours of just having the line open for families to come and line up to get food. It was amazing. We've been able to also volunteer throughout the summer, where almost every week we had the same people come over, and even more. It's been amazing, honestly. I wouldn't say it was a struggle for us.
So I was I'm making a research on the organization that you are working with, or you are like the president or the founder of this organization, and I find out that you are making some partnerships, right? with other organizations, and how does everything get started? How do you make this partnership with other organizations and get together and get volunteers that work for you or work together for this, because you are not alone, right?
No, I would say a lot of our partnerships are, with different community leaders and also different community corporations and a lot of businesses and other organizations that we work with. It's just one phone call away. I've always said, doesn't matter if they say no. It's it's a no means it's something. At least you tried. Every no you get is another yes you'll get in the future. So I believe just giving someone a phone call. It takes a couple seconds, just to see if they say, hey, is it possible? They say no, you go to the next person, you go and try again, and you'll get a yes some way and somehow. A lot of our volunteers also come from, students and friends of mine that do come from my school. My school is a very voluntary school where we focus a lot on community service. It's one of our main goals throughout high school. A lot of our community corporations do help us out also, and they do volunteer their time in helping us out. It's just something amazing we have here.
Wow. So I just love what you guys are doing as a high school. Because when I was in high school, I was part of the FFA, the Future Farmers of America, and I work as a volunteer. I do a lot of community service, and that's what I'm doing today. I work as a leader and also having this program, getting together with a lot of leaders. So we truly admire what you are doing. So can I ask you a question? How many companies or partners do you call before you get at least like yes? What do they say? You were mentioned that you called. Some of them say yes, some of them say no. How was that like struggling and getting together? Do you get frustrated when you get a no from one of the partners?
No, I wouldn't say frustrated. I'd say you know what, it happens. I take it as a motivation. I'd say I use that as motivation.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for someone bigger and better, and sometimes it just works out perfectly.
And how was that first experience that you have this big, like when you say, wow, this is what are we doing? This is huge. How was that first experience that you had working as a volunteer and having this organization? Which one was this big campaign? When was it?
Well, what do you mean big campaign? Do you mean about our like when we started, or what do you mean exactly?
I mean like the first activity that you made as a nonprofit.
That was food distribution we had, and I think that was one of our first food distributions. Was amazing. I think I was unbelievably happy that we were able to do it, and we were able to accomplish it, and we were able to give away over 500 families groceries of 25 pounds and more. It was insane. I couldn't believe it. We were able to do it. We were able to go ahead and accomplish those goals and go to the next step.
Wow. So what was the next step? You have this first food distribution, and then you have the second one. How was the second one?
The second one was as great as the first one, I'd say even better. I'd say even better. We've done so many food distribution. I think we're gonna have this Saturday actually. We're gonna have I believe our 6th or 7th already food distribution since we started. And it's just been amazing.
Wow. We truly admire what you are doing. So is there any like motivation that you can give to your co-eds or those students that have your same age, or probably are 11th grader and probably they are struggling and they want to do some volunteer work? Any motivation or inspirational words for them?
Yeah, don't give up on your dreams. Go ahead, give someone a phone call. They can tell you no. They can always tell you yes. For the most part, they're not going to tell you no. They're going to be very, very happy. Reach out. Don't wait for them to call you. Reach out. I always say, the more phone calls you make, the more yeses you're going to get. So after after you get, you can get several no's, but you're always going to get those yeses. So I say, don't reach for your dreams. Make sure you go ahead and you continue accomplishing, getting those getting volunteer hours. They always help you. I'm going to tell you, those always help in college applications and your resumes for college especially. and for anything, just make sure, give back. Especially if you have what you can, like, give back. I've always said, money isn't always everything. You don't always need money. You can be the poorest person in the world, and you can just do a good deed by just opening up a door for someone, just saying, "Hey, have a good day." Something like that always makes someone's day. That doesn't have to mean that you have to go ahead and do a food distribution like I'm doing, have a nonprofit. Giving back is just small little things like that. Just opening a door or saying, "Have a good day." Hey, I like your shoes. Something just nice to the person. It always can make someone's day. I'd say those are my favorite give backs.
Wow. That is very truly inspirational, as you mentioned before. And when I'm talking to my students, I always say to them, and I always try to encourage them to do this, what you are doing. Because this is something that is very important when you get your college application, because they're always looking for this extracurricular activities that goes beyond your GPA, that goes beyond what you are doing. So, como estamos hablando aquí, hablando de liderazgo, que me envolví hablando inglés, es importante lo que hacen nuestros jóvenes, que estoy seguro que hay muchos como Steven Ferreiro que también están haciendo la diferencia y están sirviendo a la comunidad, y están desarrollando organizaciones como lo está haciendo Steven. Y me encanta lo que él dice, porque él enfatiza que el dinero no lo es todo, sino que mientras más llamadas hagas, más sí vas a conseguir y más oportunidades de poder seguir desarrollando, impactar a la gente, lo podrás lograr. Oye, Steven, how do you feel right now, based on everything that you are doing? What's the feeling? It is worth it? ¿Cómo te sientes cada vez que ves la sonrisa de alguien, cada vez que ves una familia satisfecha, cada vez que entregas una compra con comida? ¿Cómo te sientes? Go ahead. Feel free. You can answer in English or even Spanish. Feel free.
I feel very happy. I'm very, I feel, as I said, blessed. I'm always, very just like, I have no words, I'd say. I guess it just makes you feel good about not just, not about yourself, but, about what you're doing, I'd say. It's just amazing of what I've been able to accomplish. It's just at a young age, like me, I've always said, man, it's amazing. Like, many people tell me I'm crazy sometimes with what I think of and what I'm doing, because no one would imagine I'd be doing this at age 16, almost 17 already. So it's just amazing. So it's incredible. Y como te voy diciendo, mucha gente me estaba diciendo que soy loco para hacer esto en la edad de 16, 17 casi. Y que yo estoy haciendo y todas las ideas que tengo para hacer. Entonces, de verdad, estoy sorprendida que puedo hacer todo esto y feliz que podía hacerlo.
So, me encanta cómo te describe, porque a todos nos llaman locos porque estamos metidos en estas cosas, pero vas por buen camino, porque aunque te llamen loco, estás haciendo la diferencia. You're making the difference through this, and you're never giving up, and you keep doing your best. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. What do you follow any leader, and who's your favorite leader?
I don't have a certain leader I follow. I follow some motivational speakers, though. I do follow Gary Vee. He's a very amazing, motivational speaker. He's always been one of my idols. Take a picture really quick before he had to catch a flight. But to me, it was just, amazing. I honestly had no words on it. And it was just, a dream come true, I'd say. He's one amazing person. He's always told me, strive for the best. He's always said a bunch of different words that I would never imagine, someone so successful would say, and it will come out of his mouth. So,
wow, interesting. Any favorite book that you have?
I'm not a big reader, but I'd say, man, that's a good question. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm not a big reader, but I would say, recently I read a new book, which was the Railroad. It was a railroad book. It was about what happened in the past. So I would say that book.
Cool. Leaders are readers. So probably in the next few months, in the next few years, you will be a reader as well. So
definitely.
Any movies that are inspirational for you, even on Netflix or even a series? Do you have any Netflix favorite kind of series or movies?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't I don't do any of this. I don't really watch movies or anything. I try to focus my time on doing a lot of different things,
Wow.
and not focus, on myself too much on entertainment. And when I do watch it, I'll be watching some sort of movie with some friends whenever I do have those moments of time. A lot of motivational movies I've been watching are more of, the Christian movies, but I don't have any in mind at the moment. It's been a few years since I've watched, a few months since I've watched the actual movie since, especially with this COVID pandemic. A lot of things have been very busy for me, I'd say.
Wow, interesting. So what are your hobbies then? What do you do? Because as a young guy, besides doing what you're doing, besides your academic area, what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies?
For fun, I'd say, I try to hang out as much with my family. Family's one of my most important things. Second comes, my friends and what I'm doing. I try to focus my time, very productively. I try to, at this moment, I don't play any sports. So I've been, just focusing on, trying to see, try to do things, different things. So I'm always trying new things. That's one of my big things, trying new things. So I'm either working, like now I just started working, at a different store, but at one of our retail stores here in Miami. So I've been doing that, just, personally trying to see how that I like that, and how working is, for certain people. I also do, as we were talking about here, we do a lot of volunteering. That's one of my main goals here. I like doing films and I like doing graphics, which is another hobby I like doing, since that's what I go to school here for. I go to magnet school, and that's some of my hobbies I like to do. I like to hang out with friends. That's one of my big things.
That's great. It's really amazing. We truly admire what you're doing. So you have any which music do you hear? Do you hear music?
Yes, I do. I listen to a lot of country music. I listen to a lot of pop and sometimes hip hop
Okay, so that's your favorite music.
and
Any
Spanish, of
podcast?
course.
And in Spanish, which is
Podcasts.
Spanish?
Some of my Spanish music, I'd say, Pitbull's one of my big Spanish music things since before in the past. I like his old music that he had. I also say Bad Bunny. He's an awesome.
Oh,
I believe his music's good. And I would also say Anuel.
cool. And what about podcast? That was the other question I already asked.
Yeah, podcast. I'd say at this moment I don't really listen to podcasts. I say I listened to Gary Vee's podcast a couple times.
Okay.
And I also listen to a YouTuber that I watch, which is Logan Paul. I listen to his podcast once in a while. Whenever he has some good speakers on that I like.
Wow, sounds great. So we were talking about that what you do in your organization is about food distribution, but there was a very nice experience that you guys already made, and you guys already did. That was to this family lost their apartment to a fire. How do you make this arrangement? How do you identify the family? How was that experience? And how do you make all the partnership and the arrangement so you can do it?
Yeah, that experience was one of my most touching and most amazing experiences, I'd say. I was very surprised I was able to make it happen. It happened within less than a week since the fire, and we were just very blessed. I had a lot of partnerships involved and a lot of private donors that made it happen. We made the partnerships. We're making several calls. As I said, I made several calls. One of the calls was a no. We weren't able to do it. The next call we made was a yes, and I've had several people, that have been very blessed and been able to help me out with it. And the experience has been amazing. We've gotten a lot of good feedback, a lot of good engagement with our community. A lot of our community has already noticed, we're doing, and a lot of work we're doing. A lot of people have seen me and just been like, "Hey, you've done an amazing job." I've had, teachers that have reached out to me through text message and have gotten my number through different ways that we've had connections at school, and they've told me like, "Hey, congrats, you did amazing. I can't believe you did that." And it's just been amazing.
Wow, that's three. So it has been just a year of giving hope and helping others. That's the name of the organization, right?
It's helping others and giving hope.
Hoping, helping others and giving hope. So
Yes.
it's been just a year. How many activities have you done since that year?
I'd say about 10 or 12, maybe. I'd say maybe about 10 or 12 already. And that's from food distributions, toy giveaways, turkey giveaways to our firefighters, I'd say personal, engagement with certain families that need it, our apartments, and, volunteering throughout our community with different ways of different needs.
And all of that has been just in the Miami area, right?
A lot of it has been Miami area, and then right before we started our nonprofit, I decided to do a soft launch of our nonprofit where we helped our Bahamian people when they had the hurricane hit them. We decided to work with our community and see how we can gather donations, and we sent out over a 10-foot truck of supplies to the Bahamas.
To where?
To the Bahamas.
Oh, to the Bahamas. Oh, wow. That sounds great. So
yeah.
you have been just in Miami, and you're starting like spreading out through the Florida state, and now you're getting international. You're planning going to the Bahamas, right?
Well, that was already sent out. That was about over a year ago that when we sent that out.
Wow. So what are the goals, or how do you visualize this organization probably in the next year?
In the next year, I hope to continue doing more. I really do want to focus a lot more on the homelessness in our community. We do have a big issue with that here in Miami and, throughout our whole country. I believe I need to focus a little more on that. I want to do more on that. I want to see how we can create, possibly more feedings out there. We go out there in the community, feed our community, see how they need it.
Cool. So how many people are working with you? Do you have like a board, or do you have like it's just you and your family? You got friends working with you?
It's just me and my family at this moment. It's more me, and then my family give me, like different opinions and helping me out, and then I have my friends that volunteer.
Oh, so if you're planning, probably it's gonna get bigger. It's gonna, I can see it's gonna be a great. So you're planning probably getting people into the board, making huge partnerships in the future?
Yes, definitely. I've been already looking into doing that. I've been already looking into doing chapters around different local schools here. So that's what we've been focusing on.
Wow. And how do you work with partners, with organizations that are doing kind of the same of what you're doing, or there are other organizations that are doing probably the same, as I mentioned?
Yeah, we do a lot of partnerships with different organizations that do the same. So we try to see how we can, co-host different events like food distribution, such thing as not.
Wow. And based on you're a high school student, I can tell that you're a big dreamer and you're a great leader. How do you visualize yourself in 5 years from now?
I believe in 5 years, I'd probably be a big leader in our community, doing a lot of different things, trying to see where we can go from now. Probably already be graduated from college or graduating in the next year or so. So I believe, just trying to seeing what I'd be doing. I'd probably be still having this nonprofit, growing it out, making it hopefully in the future nationwide.
Wow. And so in 5 years, probably it's going to be nationwide. Now, what is going to be 10 years? How do you see yourself from 10 years till now? Since now.
I can't tell you that because I wouldn't be able to tell you that, that I think realistically. I believe, you have so many goals, but I wouldn't say there. You never know. You can live. I live life day to day. I believe, you can die tomorrow easily. You can die today if something were to happen, but God bless, God willing, I'm still here. I've been still doing my things, but I take life day to day, and I wouldn't say I know where I'd be in 10 years. Hopefully in the future I'd be someone amazing. I'm still helping our community.
Sounds great. And I truly believe this in 5 years, probably before those 5 years, going to be nationwide. So probably in the next 10 years, going to be international wide. So we truly appreciate what you are doing at your young age. And I just found out on my Cala program, but I didn't know Steven till now. Yo vine a conocer a Steven casi unos minutos ahora, porque le escribí por Twitter. Estuvimos planificando esto since a month, right?
Yeah, for about a couple of weeks, I'd say.
But for a couple of weeks, and it was kind of difficult to acordar un día. Inclusive, estoy grabando esto en plena lluvia para poder tenerlo. Pero no sabía de su corta edad, y todo lo que está haciendo es maravilloso. So, verdaderamente admiramos lo que está haciendo Steven y te auguramos mucho éxito. Si hay gente que te quisiera invitar para escuchar hablarte, motivar a sus jóvenes, motivar a estudiantes, how they can reach you or how they can find you. Are you on social media? If they want to get in touch with your organization, probably a family needs some help or probably some volunteers want to be part of this organization, how can they find you or reach you?
Our nonprofit has a website called that is www.helpingothersandgivinghope.org, or you can go to our social media official_HOAGH. And if you want to follow me and my personal business and what we do throughout our community and see more of what we do, you can follow me at Steven Ferreiro on all social medias.
Oh, sounds great. Así que ya saben, si quieren llevar a Steven a hablarle a los jóvenes o a sus estudiantes, ya saben que lo pueden conseguir. Y si usted está por el área de Miami, asegúrese de trabajar con Steven y ayudarlo en uno de sus proyectos de voluntario. If you're in the Miami area, please feel free to help Steven as a volunteer and get together with this great organization that's making a difference in this great state of Florida. So, Steven, this is all for today. I truly appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Your busy schedule. This is what we record do the storm. While we were recording, there was a big thunder. And I was like, oh my God. We were talking. Así que sonó bien fuerte y me asusté, pero ya por fin logramos grabarlo. Thank you for everything you're doing. We hope that you get in touch and probably get to office. And once you get to office, don't forget about us and remember.
Definitely.
Yeah, I remember you.
Gracias por tenerme hoy y por todo que hace usted.
Sí. Oye, espérate, antes de cerrar, eres Ferreiro, your heritage, ¿de dónde viene tu familia? Me mencionaste que...
Mi papá era de Cuba y mi abuelo y mi abuela también. Pero mi mamá nació aquí y yo nací aquí también.
Oh, cool. Entonces, y has aprendido, o sea, que el español lo sabes porque lo has compartido con la familia y poco a poco...
Sí, por la familia y por la comunidad en total.
Ay, qué bien, qué bien. Pues ya sabes que acá en Puerto Rico eres más que bienvenido, así que cuando estés en Puerto Rico, don't forget about us. So you have a house here. Sí, pues ha sido un placer. Así que, mi gente, gracias, Steven, por estar con nosotros. Nos veremos el próximo lunes en otro episodio más de Hablando de Liderazgo con Albert. Recuerden que seguirnos a través de las redes sociales en YouTube, Albert Troche TV, o en Facebook, Albert Troche, y a través de todos los canales de podcast. Así que gracias por acompañarnos en esta noche. Bendiciones y nos vemos en la próxima. Stay there.
Gracias.
Okay.
Bye bye.